In the beginning, people used wood to move the things. With the help of wood, man would move these things. Even so, it takes a lot of hard work and efforts. The bearing was invented in the 18th century over time. Philip Vaughan invented the world's first bearing. This patent described how iron balls could be placed between the wheel and the axle of a carriage. Yes, in today's video, we are going to discuss the working of ball bearing in details. So let's begin. To understand the purpose of ball bearing, first we need to understand the loads acting on the bearing. Generally, two types of loads act on the bearing. First is radial load. The load which acts perpendicular to the shaft axis is known as a radial load. This load is indicated by Fr in the picture. This radial load acts on the bearing due to the weight of the shaft, the weight of the pulley, if the pulley is mounted on the shaft, and if there is tension in the belts. Second is axial load. The load which acts parallel to the shaft axis is known as axial load. This load is indicated by Fa. The bearing has three main functions, such as it is used to carry the radial load and axial load, as we have discussed. Bearings are used to reduce the friction between the rotating elements. Bearing helps to constrain the rotating elements of a machine. Well, let us take an example of centrifugal pump to understand the function of bearing in detail. First, these bearings take radial and axial load. Second, these bearings allow to rotate the shaft smoothly. And the third, it helps to support the shaft as well as avoids the axial movement of shaft, which means it helps to constrain the shaft to its position. Okay, now let us see all the parts of ball bearing. This big ring is called an outer race. This race has a groove at the inner surface. This is called a cage. The cage is used to maintain the equal distance between the balls. This small ring is called an inner race. This race has a groove on its outer surface. These are the balls. Balls are fixed in the inner surface of outer race and outer surface of inner race. These races have different diameters, but the thickness is the same. This whole assembly is called a ball bearing. Generally, the outer race is fixed in the bearing housing and the inner race is fixed on the shaft. As the shaft has power and rotational movement, causes the ball to rotate in the races. Due to the use of balls, we have a point contact between races and balls, which results in reducing the friction. The ball bearing has point contact with the races. Hence, it has low load carrying capacity as compared with the roller bearing because roller bearing has line contact. But due to the point contact, ball bearing has low friction and roller bearing has comparatively more friction, so that ball bearings are also known as anti-friction bearing. As the balls are evenly placed in races, each ball carries the same load. This is all about construction and working of ball bearing. Please write your valuable feedback in the comment section below. By just clicking the like button, you can boost our willpower. Please share this video on social platforms and hit that bell icon by subscribing to this channel to get notified about similar videos. Thank you so much.